Welcome back, everyone, to Into the Nexus, the podcast all about Heroes of the Storm. And this specifically is our patron call-in show for February 2016. So if you're one of those people that gets really bent out of shape when microphones don't always sound as good as Kyle and mine, because honestly, I mean, actually, that's a really high bar to set for yourself. No one sounds as good as Kyle and I. So basically what I'm warning you, sound quality may vary. It may vary. So, however, if you enjoy just a damn fun hangout of like-minded people that love this game, stick around. Stick around. I'm Garrett Weinzorl, by the way. You're Kyle Ferguson.
I am.
You are. And yeah, man, we got like a main show tomorrow. This is like weird doing it in the middle of the week, but
I know.
But it's cool. It's cool. Do we have a balance update yet today? I haven't even looked.
No, but in our past week, that came out while we were recording our training video, and it was an hour in, so yeah, maybe 58 minutes away.
Ah, gotcha. That's true. That's very true. So the very end of we will end the show just in time not to have news to talk about until tomorrow, which is actually perfect because we want.
That's what we want, right? I mean, I'm sure we'll spend a little bit of time, flirting with Zool here. Oh, but that's up to the callers.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Although, is he on the PTR? Because I haven't tried him yet.
He is not. No,
okay.
He comes out next Tuesday, but we have all of his data mine talents.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, cool stuff, man. Well, we're already getting callers, but before I take one, I want to remind everyone who's watching live, if you are a patron of Into the Nexus, meaning you're over at patreon.com/ITN backing us for $1 or more, you can call in right now. The details are up. It is actually the most recent post, so head on over to patreon.com/ITN if you want to call in. It's via Skype. You just need a Skype account specifically for Into the Nexus. It's the only thing you need to worry about. Let's take our first caller, Kyle. And our first caller is something weird happened. I guess I missed it. So the real first caller is Mr. Christopher.
Oh, good day to you.
Hello, Christopher. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. You?
Doing well. And Kyle, I'm just going to speak for you. I think you're doing well as well.
Oh yeah, doing quite well.
How nice.
All the wells going on here.
Yeah.
So how you doing today, Christopher? What's on your hero's brain?
My hero's brain. This is actually still on my brain since the last episode, call-in episode. I was at a play, so I couldn't make it. So I was thinking about tournament mode. This actually could apply to Hearthstone as well. So, which is you can create custom games, but you get access to everything on your account. Instead of just like you do now, the custom games are locked out. And, well, when I play with you guys, I'm on the America server, and that's kind of bad. Because I don't have any heroes.
Oh, gotcha. I see. I would like that a lot, actually. But I do feel like we're a bit of a... Like, we are the target demo for what you're suggesting. It's like, hey, do you guys have an audience of heroes lovers, and you all get together and do games with random people you don't regularly play with all the time, and some of you are from Europe, and some of you from NA, and some are maybe from the Seaside server. I'm not sure that's like the majority of players, sadly. So I'm not sure how realistic it is that we may get a feature like that. But damn it, if I wouldn't love it.
Yeah, I know for the Heroes of the Dorm tournament, they give them completely unlocked accounts where they, at least last time they did it, had to play the basic skins just because it was more of a beginner-oriented tournament, whereas the pro players have their own accounts, and if they have to switch regions for whatever reason, I'm sure Blizzard is either accommodating or these are pro players and they just spend the money as an investment to get what they want.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, when I play with you, I don't feel a lot of lag. So maybe even the tournaments could go that way. So you can have international tournaments without being everybody in the same place. So
yeah,
the Europeans could actually go do tournaments with NA in an easy way, not have to fly across the pond.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'm sure, like Kyle said, since with Heroes of the Dorm, they provided them with completely unlocked accounts. I'm sure that happens for some of the larger tournaments. But the problem is that for us grassroots folks who just want to get together and play with our friends in different countries, it is quite the hassle. Now I'm curious if maybe this is going to shift for Blizzard overall, just with the issue of region locking, because I mean in Overwatch right now they're testing it where there is no region lock. If you unlock that dope Winston skin on your US account and you go and play with your buddy in England on the EU server, you still have that dope Winston skin.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how the lag works differently between the two games. Clearly an entirely different engine and system and that sort of thing. But in Overwatch, when I play Across the Seas, I end up firing at a target that then shifts over, and they weren't even there in the first place because of lag. Whereas when you play Heroes of the Storm, your lag is all based on you. When I click something, I move slower and react slower.
Yeah,
I have Overwatch as well, and I heard from your stream with Patrick, and he told that you got everything. So that's the other way. You could always unlock everything. But what happens with people who spend money on different servers then?
Right,
yeah,
and you have to reimburse them.
Yeah, that is an issue, and we've also talked about this on the Angry Chicken. It's like, well, if your collections spanned across the different regions, what's to stop you from being a psychotic person and getting world championship points from both servers? From like you could just, well, I'm gonna grind in North America and in EU and see which one I get more points on because I have access to my full library of cards. Now, granted, that's an insane scenario and someone that would have to put a lot of time into the game.
Right, and Blizzard would have to totally overlook that being an option when they made globalized play a real thing.
Yeah.
That'd be bizarre of them to be like, yeah, all your cards work across the different regions, but different points in each one. Yeah. Everyone go.
People do put a lot of time into the video games, though. I saw Scott Johnson's stream on Overwatch. He had a level 123 on his team. So people have a lot of free time.
Well, yes. Yeah, I don't think there's any debate there. But yeah, basically I'm putting this all out there. These are all things that need to be considered because there are hang-ups, although clearly I fall in the camp of kill region locking with fire because to me, I think it is the single worst thing that spans all of the Blizzard games, with the exception of now Overwatch.
Yeah.
Although there's
Me
still
and my
not...
friends, instead of making troll accounts back in the day, when we tried, we just go to NA. We were level 1 and we had fun. We didn't lose much. Because the MMR doesn't span over the regions either. So
right.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't get them out.
If you're into that kind of thing, yeah, that is a bizarre positive side of region locking. But believe me, Kyle and I, as people who have publicly streamed ourselves on Smurf accounts, not everyone agrees it's as much fun as Kyle and I think it is.
No, and the reason why I got to the America server in the first place was to get to level 25, I think it was, to get the untalent locked.
Oh,
so I could
right.
actually play with you guys and have all my talents and just be like, and play as I usually do.
Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah. Well, you're a damn dedicated Into the Nexus fan then. So hats off to you.
Yeah, I never got to 25, I think, because they changed it. And usually you do your show quite late for me.
Yeah.
You start about 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So if I don't not working nights, I can't follow it. Before Christmas was very good. You were early. Well, late, still late for me, but early for you.
Yeah. The scheduling got kind of crazy, but thanks for being so dedicated.
Yeah, it's fun to play with and against you. It's fun.
It's okay.
I can't
you can
get
say it.
friends together, so it's hard to get all.
This is a safe place, Christopher. You can admit that you like flustering me when I lose.
Yeah, I usually do. I have a friend who's quite like you when we come to losing, and I'm more like Kyle when it comes to losing, and it gets some interesting interactions. It got so far I threatened to report him if he didn't start behaving.
Wow. Okay, I'm not that bad.
But he's
I haven't had
you
a
don't
friend
type. You started to type, and when you start to type, then you've gone too far.
Ah, gotcha, man.
I have a personal question as well.
Sure
as
thing.
usual. Is there something you refuse to eat?
Something I
If you
refuse
see
to
it,
eat.
you never eat it.
There are a lot of things I refuse to eat. Kyle can attest. I'm a rather picky person.
All right.
I hate pickles. Cannot stand them. Like if it's on my hamburger bun, that bun must be thrown away and a new bun must be used because the pickle juice absorbs into the bread and it makes me want to vomit.
But
Right.
what do you get at Chick-fil-A then?
I get a chicken sandwich with no effing pickles on it. That's what I get at Chick-fil-A.
I mean, the pickle's not the best part. It's the chicken, right?
Yes.
Man, you can't even have a decent burger with no tomato and no pickle.
No, yes, I can, sir. Burgers, a perfect burger for me is mayo, onion, lettuce, fried egg, hot sauce, and green peppers.
No ketchup, just mayo.
No,
Weird.
no, ketchup is horrendously overrated and ruins everything that it's on. Giant chunks of raw tomato is terrible. I don't hate all tomato, just big slices of raw tomato that coat your tongue and just weird wetness. But salsa and pico de gallo, I put that on everything.
Okay, that's not very tomatoey.
Yeah.
For me, it's coconut. I hate coconut.
See, I love coconut.
It is the devilly surprise in the middle of some random chocolate. I don't know what age it was. It must have been like some impressionable like 3-year-old me who someone handed a chocolate to and was like, "Here you go." I'm like, "Oh my god, I love chocolate." And instead, wood shavings fell out.
Dude, Almond Joys? I'm all over that. I love Almond Joys.
Wait, but it's almond joy, a joyful almond.
Yeah, and there's there's more coconut in it than almond.
Yeah, I've been tricked too.
Yeah. Oh man, I love those things. So just coconut for you, huh? Nothing else?
That's the big one.
Yeah.
I also don't like pumpkin pie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know
'Cause
why.
that's like one of my favorite desserts. I love pumpkin pie. That's fun. What about you, Christopher? Is there anything that like you can't stand eating?
I eat everything if it's served and I'm hungry. But there are Vegemite. I tried it when I was in Australia. It's disgusting. It made my face go funny.
I am so happy that you
I
threw
couldn't
Australia into that because that was the only joke I could make. It was like, oh, were you in Australia?
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there twice actually. It's very nice, but they don't really do food all that good every time. Vegemite is everywhere, and I hate it. And also, we have something called sour herring or something like that in Sweden, which is known all over the world for being disgusting.
Oh, is that like the pickled fish?
No,
Right?
the pickled fish can be nice. This is the worst thing. It's
okay.
almost rotten.
Oh.
Fish in a can, you eat it outside because it smells so bad. So you don't even open it inside.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No,
No, thank
the
you.
northern Swedes, they actually like it and have holidays to eat it. But no, I would never do that. It's stupid.
Yeah, that's no good. Oh, grapes. I can't stand grapes. It's a texture thing. Drives me nuts. I'm also not huge on the taste.
Right.
Well, there is no taste really.
With grapes, there's totally a grape flavor because like
Well, yeah, like grape ape flavored kind of thing. But I'm
Yeah.
talking about like a straight up bowl of grapes isn't the most flavorful thing on earth.
that's true. But really, it's more of a texture thing for me. But anyway, Christopher, thank you, man, so much for calling in.
I have a final thing, and it's just a quick one.
Okay.
Last time I called in, we had beaten Cursed Hollow in 257 against the AI. We beat that, a month ago or something. How fast did we do it this time? Well, it's Infernal Shrines this time.
Oh, Infernal Shrines. So it's faster.
We did a 5-stack.
How? I don't know. How fast?
128.
Holy crap.
Wait, 1 minute 28 seconds?
Yes, we were level 2 and the computer was level 3 when we won.
How did you? One lane, I assume.
Yes, yes,
Straight
very
down,
much
straight
one
down
lane.
the middle.
Yeah, the trick is you actually go around the wall, the first wall. You don't care about it. It takes too long. So you go around it,
Yeah.
you attack the fort. You need Sylvanas, obviously. You attack the
Yeah, of
fort,
course.
then you go to the next wall. You attack the wall bit. You don't care about the towers or the gate because that's stupid. It takes
Of
too long.
course, naturally.
Then Sylvanas again, and then you go for the core.
Wow.
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 Well done.
Well done,
Well
sir.
done.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
it was fast and crazy. We'll try to beat it someday, but that will be hard, I think.
yeah, I think it will. Well, thanks for calling in, Christopher. We got to get other callers in here.
Thanks. Have a nice evening. Well,
You-
day.
You as well.
Yeah, day for us, evening for you. Thanks for being up late. Have a good one. Alrighty. Let's get Mr. Master DS in here.
Hey.
Hey,
sweet.
Master.
1 second. Hey.
How you doing?
The soundscape.
1 second.
Yeah, there's something weird happening.
I think he's running from the office. Yes, there's a door,
There it is.
Yep.
and we're in the stairwell.
Oh, no. Now we're going to say, well, I'm going to go
Yeah.
outside.
Are
Ooh,
you?
a nice creaky door too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, and
And
you
any-
can't smell it, but it smells like smoke because there was a fire in here like 6 months ago.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
unpleasant. I'm
An
sorry to hear that.
electrical fire.
I'm sorry.
Eh,
Well-
it's not my stairwell. Well, I don't live in the stairwell.
That's good.
I'm happy to hear that.
Congratulations.
Although, if you lived under the stairwell, you might be a wizard.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Different
Brian.
type of stairwell.
Owls hate him.
So what's on your brain today?
Yeah, so first I'd like to... Okay, so what do you think about the ideas that some people have suggested and occasionally like with, what's it? The Zerg thing. The Overmind. Where they suggest, oh, the Overmind should replace the core. Or ideas like that where certain structures get it replaced. Like, here's a cool one I came up with the other day. Like, it'd be cool if, like, Manx, his trait should just be vanity, and it's just all the towers just turn into statues of him.
Ooh.
That'd be cool. And maybe he gets some special effect while he's in the range of those towers. Maybe that'd be cool. And then you have of course, the satisfaction of, as the enemy team, fucking tearing those towers down like you do in StarCraft 2.
And
those statues of him.
Yeah.
I can get into that.
Yeah,
So,
that'd
Garrett,
be cool.
As the artsy person, you might know this better than me. Could you do that across all the maps with keeping the theme and lighting and everything else? I mean, is that like... Does Towers of Doom, all its greenness, shine onto a Minx Tower, or do they have to design a different Minx Tower for every map?
I'm fairly certain, and do not quote me on this, but I'm fairly certain that the color, like the palette of the tile set is baked into the actual texture itself. It's not just lighting.
Really?
Okay.
But I'm sure you could do it in a way where because what you're talking about there is basically you're going to have the same 3D asset for everything and just a different skin for each map, which I think would be doable. But again,
I don't imagine
quote
for
me.
each skin that they actually repaint it. They just kind of change the value of the color.
Make it a little, change the hues.
Yeah.
But when you're in another stage, do the heroes change color at all, or is it just purely the stage? Just purely the battleground.
I mean, there's other things involved, like how high you have your graphic settings set to, because obviously, they're going to be somewhat affected by the lighting that's going on in the map. But my point is if you put everything on super low setting, where you're not really having like cast shadows and lighting effects and whatnot, there's everything.
It still looks good.
It still looks pretty good because the painted textures are done very well.
That's true. I was on low settings for a while when I was on the laptop. Now I'm on a PC, so that's really nice. But yeah, it did. It looked good on a laptop as well.
Yeah. But I think that could be doable, or maybe screw it, keep it the same color so it's instantly recognizable as what it, as something that you need to be concerned about.
Yeah.
Like I like the idea of the peon or peasant who rebuilds towers and maybe even makes them now in his own image.
Yeah. The only thing that complicates that is Towers of Doom. Like, do you, how do you work with that? Where tower stealing is already part of a map. Do you have a tower stealing hero if you already have tower stealing in the game?
Yeah, that can be a bit. There's a lot of things to consider there. Even if it doesn't steal enemy towers, if it just turns your own towers into something better, like buffs your own tower, or maybe buff one tower. I think if it did it like map wide, that might be borderline insane. But maybe something Manx would have to be in range to do.
Yep.
To one tower, but then what happens if you cast that on a bell tower in Towers of Doom that's about to be taken down? Does it all of a sudden go back to full life and now be even more powerful, and you completely swing the... It becomes way more powerful in that scenario than any other battleground in the game. That becomes kind of strange. I mean, we do like... We like a world where there is a meta that changes depending on the battleground we're on, but do we want it to be that... Like that's
crazy.
Yeah. I'm more concerned about the more granular stuff that people are going to rage about. Like, what if the tower you rebuild is slightly more powerful than the original tower, and then you're getting into situations where people are like, "Don't you dare defend that tower! Oh my God, let all the towers die so I can replace them."
I would think that you'd just be able to do it on a live one as well in that case.
Yeah.
Or you choose the most powerful one or something.
Yeah.
What I would imagine, it would be cool if it was just all of his abilities are global within the view of one of his statues, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just he can cast any spell anywhere on the map so long as it's in sight of one of his things. And maybe he can set up speakers or something in enemy territory to help him do that as well. Manx would be sort of... sorry.
Sorry, I was going to say, you just gave me an idea. It'd be kind of interesting if he just added a new structure instead of taking over an existing one.
Yeah.
Because
I thought of that before, actually, but either way, it's... I almost think, like, just... If it was just like a Gazlowe turret, and then tearing it down was no big deal, then it wouldn't have the same impact that, like, you know, just... You imagine, like, in StarCraft, right? They have to have ropes, and they have to pull the statues down. At least that's how I remember it. I don't know if that's how it actually was.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about something a little more sizable, like maybe something that takes up the same amount of space as a Nidus worm from Zagara.
Yeah, so it's like an ultimate.
Yeah, and you can place these things, like maybe it has a long enough firing range where you can put it behind your existing towers and it can still hit things attacking the wall.
Yeah.
Right, or it has its own zone per little city setup that it belongs in all the time. I mean, Dustin Browder did help with Battle for Middle-earth, so he knows all about creating strategy games where you don't get to choose where your buildings go.
That's true.
And like, what his fantasy probably is, it's like the Orwellian ruler, you know, he hears everything, he can, you know, he'll be, getting vision will be a big part of his kit, I imagine. Oh shit, a dead bird. Getting vision will be a big part of his kit where, you know, he sets up all his outposts and all his listening stations, and then he can just get map vision everywhere. There's a dead bird there.
Oh, look, a dead body.
Look, a dead body. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I like all those ideas, and I think that is a good route to go down as far as flavoring Manx. Like, what is the essence of Manx? And I think that's a good way to put it.
Yep.
So, well,
other stuff I was thinking about. Go on.
Oh, well, we know he's in the data mine files, and we don't know what's after Necromancer, so maybe.
It is open. That'd be cool. Anything would be cool, really. They whatever they make, it's going to be cool. I don't remember the last time it wasn't cool. Like, Lunara was a little weak at launch.
Lunara was pretty lame.
I don't know. She is mean now. Reasonably, like, don't have enough healing, or she can just whittle you down, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't engage if you're gonna run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof.
Well, did you have another question, Brian, before we let you go?
Yeah, I was thinking about generic talents. Also, one thing I wanted to say is that apparently I've offended another patron, and I wanted to say sorry to him. Apparently, it's like an agrajag situation. If you ever read Hitchhikers, agrajag being like in Hitchhiker's Guide, he is a guy who was reincarnated as everything that Arthur Dent has ever killed. And he's just like, what are you doing, man? Are you out to get me? And it's like, I was the rabbit you killed in prehistoric times, and I was also the fly you swatted. And it's like, oh, wow, that's a weird coincidence, huh? And he's like, no, it fucking isn't. God damn it. And it's just like, I was mean to this guy when he picked a bad draft once, and apparently I did it another time, randomly, that I don't remember. And he was calling me a motherfucker about it, and, sorry about it, dude.
Well, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun editing this episode.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, I wanted to talk about generic talents since Dustin Browder did a tweet about it. I asked him a question about it, and he answered. And basically, like, is he going to be grinding those out? And he basically said, yeah, we are going to be grinding them out of the game.
It's
the
right
what do you guys
thing
think
to do.
about that?
I think it's fine. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Do you have any ideas for, like, what sort of replacements should be done? Like, should they be very specifically like, this talent is designed to replace this one?
I don't think that's the way to think about it. I think you should think about it more like the version of Bribe that Raynor has. Everyone has. We're getting to this point now where there are talents that are very similar to Demolitionist or Bribe, but they're
like the
flavored.
giant killer talents on all the new heroes.
Yeah, and Tychus has his own, and Greater Spell Shield on Lunara. Like, those sort of flavor things. Personally, what I love that they're doing...
flavor.
The best thing they're doing right now is giving the Abathur treatment to other heroes at level 20 and allowing them to have some sort of extra ability that augments their kit. I mean, you got a Galloping Gate for Lunara, and
there's
now
also
the Bone Spear.
Yeah, there's also Archon on Li Ming, which is really cool if, not really... I don't get to use it most games, but it's still really cool. It's there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Diablo's got his one now that drains hope or health. That's what Lord of Terror. Like all those
Wish
things
that
are
was
super
felt
sweet.
a little better.
Yeah,
But
it
I like
is
taking it
situational.
anyway. Yeah, when I can.
It feels a little disappointing, right? Particularly when you go Apocalypse and then you're like, I'm not going Dying Breath because I'm not gonna die, but Lord of Terror is my next best option.
It would be cool if, like, one of the things I think that would be cool is, like, if an Uberak just, instead of having rewind, if he just got 2 stacks on all his abilities, like, that would be more powerful and also, more fun, I think.
I mean, I would just trade rewind for a giant pile of beetles.
Really?
Because that's what I use it for.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I do a beetle build, and I'm weird like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, the accepted use of it is just to be able to burrow in, burrow out, right?
Yeah,
or at least that's what people say.
Yeah, I was about to say too, Kyle. Like, I mean, yes, that might be what you personally are hoping to get from it, but it's like it's not also like you aren't also getting double shield, double burrow, double spines.
Right. Well, I'm hoping for more than 3 beetles. You know, I want like 6.
All right, fair enough.
6. Oh, like 9, 10.
Just level 20, unleash the beetles. You just hit it and
just pile them on. You know,
bunch
more
of
beetles than what the Necromancer can get with skeletons. Just basically should be the goal.
Would you take a talent, Kyle, that doubled the amount of beetles spawned by using abilities?
Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
sick.
You already take a talent that gives you a free beetle. Like that's no brainer. If you got a talent that gives you 3 free beetles, 3 free beetles, then that is very value, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the screaming person in the background.
Yeah, I guess that's a child or something.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Outside, there are people here.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with the generic talents, but I like the the direction we're moving, where they're similar talents, but each one is weighted and flavored to fit the specific hero.
The only one that's on Zool is Executioner, actually, which makes sense for Zool.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
let's see how much he actually CCs.
We'll see how much he CCs.
He does have a lot of... I think, you can put a slow on the queue.
Yeah,
and then if someone stands in the bone prison thing, like, it's gonna get dirty.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That too.
Oh, bring it on. Well, Brian, we got a bunch of other people calling in too.
Totally.
But thanks for calling.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Alrighty, let's get Robert in here, maybe?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's strange. You're here, but I can't see you in the call.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll just chalk it up to the magic of Skype, and we're glad you're here and we can hear you.
I'm more concerned about getting you out of here when we need to add another caller, but we'll figure that out when the time comes. We'll cross that Skype bridge when we get there.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Welcome to the show, Robert. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
I'm doing all right. Right.
It's Bob T. Skull, by the way.
Oh, dude! Oh, man. Not only A, Dresden reference, B, has left so many 5-star reviews for every single one of our shows on iTunes.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Nice to talk to you, man.
Oh, nice to talk to you, too. And I've been meaning to set up my Patreon for Tan, the Angry Nerd. Which, by the way, I don't ever, look at Reddit. It's just a personal thing. But screw that guy. Oh. Whoever that guy was, screw him.
Dude,
he's a jerk.
I did not talk about that on the show so that everyone could tell me how awesome my shows are and yet it was really just really more me saying, hey guys, remind me the next time I engage mean people to just not bother.
There you go.
So but nonetheless, thank you very much.
You guys are so great. I love the show. I guess my only real question, Brightwing, does she get any play up at the top? She's by far my favorite hero, and I play her all the time.
There's been a lot of love posts recently over on Reddit and whatnot of people, and then highlighting the various and few and far between pro games she makes it into.
Yeah. Well, I know she gets a lot of pro games, but I mean, just like on your day-to-day, because I feel like everybody's all about Morales or your Divine Shields or...
Well, actually, I think everyone's pretty down on Uther at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
I know, I definitely... He's, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I know we always cite hot slogs, and that pisses some people off, and others not so much. But I personally prefer to look at statistics rather than anecdotes.
Yeah.
And he is the second, lowest win rate I think, across all leagues in Hero League.
Yeah.
So
Which makes, I mean, yeah, he definitely needs a little love from Blizzard.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
You hear so much about those Divine Palms and Divine Shields because they're very easy to apply. Do we have a Butcher? Yes. Oh, he loves Divine stuff. Let's go. And other healers you have to be a little more creative about. I mean, even Morales, Morales had a huge upswing in her wins because Muradin lost his mini-stun on Avatar.
Yeah.
And that means she no longer has that 2-second reset on the heal, and things are going great for her. But really, what it comes down for poor Brightwing right now is I could take Brightwing, or I could make the level 1 choice on Rhaegar to have increased movement speed on my Wolf and do the exact same thing. And that's a shame.
I love it once you start getting that pixie dust bounce, and it's a buff to everybody. And especially if I don't know, I'm in lower leagues, so people probably don't position as well. And, they get clumped together, so you can bounce it to everybody. And then you're just this constant healing totem almost, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I love Brightwing. I still do. I think she's great in some places. And I know I just said I prefer stats over anecdotes, but I had a Hero League game last night where going into it, I'm like, we're going to lose. We're going to lose so hard. This is the worst comp I've ever seen. And Brightwing was our healer, and we rocked it. We just destroyed, and it was beautiful. So I think there is a place for Brightwing. I think any place where having map presence and being able to kind of dominate the map by teleporting all over the place, I think she's fantastic. Any time where someone on the opposing team would be much better off as a squirrel or a crab than whatever they normally are, I think Brightwing is fine. Her Arcane Flare got a big damage boost, so she's actually somewhat painful if you land in that center, and also great for things like Infernal Shrines and whatnot. I don't know. I really like her. I don't think she's like a blind pick. I don't think you just take her because you need a support. But I think in the right hands with the right comp on the right map, that Brightwing's just fantastic. I just love her to death. I don't necessarily want to see Brightwing get a rework because I really like the kit that she has.
No, I completely agree. And I especially love it once you get past level 10. You can kind of start, because obviously you're the slowest person in the group half the time, and just almost bait people kind of away, knowing that you can just jump to one of your teammates who's already gotten a head start, and just kind of bait their team away from yours.
Yeah.
A great quality of life change for her would just be to take her heal zone and draw it on the ground permanently like Sergeant Hammer. So everybody knows to stand in it.
Oh, that'd be so nice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to take too much time.
No, you're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine. No worries at all, Bob.
I recently started playing WoW again. Do you guys have a good WoW podcast? I tried to find the instance, but I couldn't find it.
You couldn't find the instance?
Oh my!
No,
because usually you just go to iTunes.
World of Warcraft on my.
Usually you just go to iTunes and look for the @1 damn podcast and gaming, and it's there. It's literally called The Instance. So
okay. Well, and I also at looking at them, they're on. I don't even know what episode number The Instance is on. I'm sure it's ridiculous. But would that be your go-to? I mean, I played it back in Vanilla and Burning Crusade, but I feel almost like a new player getting back into it just because everything's so different.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, The Instance is the only one I listen to, but I play WoW incredibly passively now. It's not a game that I go out to seek information on, so I'm really not the right person to ask, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely check out the Tauren Think Tank as well. They've evolved really well over the years. Yeah, that's a good show. And, I mean, Garrett, you do an occasional World of Warcraft show, and I do a stream on Monday nights.
We did one episode.
Oh, okay.
we did one episode.
Well, that's still occasionally, right?
It was a special, and there may be more coming down the pipe. It's just a matter of inventing more hours in the day.
If you guys could work on that, that'd be great.
Believe me, it's on the burner. But that burner is on a very, very low simmer.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah,
be a while before that's done and ready to go. But yeah, man, I don't have the best
instance.
Tauren Think Tank. I've got buddies here that come to our local fireside that run Hearthcast. They're fantastic, and that's kind of an all-around Blizzard show. But they do talk quite a bit about WoW. And check out, actually, a great place to go and find out about other WoW podcasts is the Realm Maintenance podcast.
Okay.
Ro runs
I've
that.
heard you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I mean, now I believe there was a time where that show only talked to people within the WoW universe. Now he has expanded to other Blizzard properties, but that's still a fantastic place to go and learn about really other outlets for Warcraft news. And he also covers Warcraft news on the show itself. So
Awesome.
highly recommend Ro Maintenance. Ro is
I will check that
stand-up
out.
gentleman.
I'm actually at work, so I have to dip. But
Cool.
A-Move TV's awesome. You guys are doing awesome stuff. So
Oh, man,
thanks.
thanks.
And keep pumping out the great stuff.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
Y'all have a nice day.
See ya. Let me see if this doesn't make everything explode.
Oh.
I think it didn't make everything explode.
Oh, nice.
All right, I'm going to try getting Chameleon in here because this gentleman's been
Nice.
calling since the beginning. And he said he couldn't keep calling, so just to add him to the call when we had a break. And I said that we would try. So we'll give him one shot. If he doesn't pick up, we'll move on to the next caller.
Perfect. I like his boar's head ham there as a profile picture.
Boar's head is the proper deli meat to get.
It is a good, yeah. It is
I
very
enjoyed
good.
a nice Cajun turkey boar's head sandwich minutes before the show.
Greetings.
Ah, greetings, giant thing of boar's head meat.
Actually, it's cheese.
Oh, it's cheese.
It's a strange joke because the LAC at the end of my my gamer tag, people started calling me Lacey, and that's Lacey Swiss cheese.
Ah, nice. I like that. I also just really like boar's head anything. So
This is true. This is true. They do make a good product.
yeah, they really do. So so you go by Chameleon or Lacey, which you prefer being called?
It doesn't matter,
Doesn't matter.
simply because if you try and control your nickname, everybody will go the other way just to bother you. So
Very
I
true.
just let it not bother me.
Yep, yeah.
No, the LAC stands for my first Quake clan back in Quake 1 days for Lucrative Annihilators clan. So yeah, it was just the tag I
Nice.
kept because it was an easy name.
I like that name. So what's on your mind today?
Well, actually, I wanted to suggest a hero idea, see if you thought it was interesting. I was trying to think of a ranged tank idea that worked better than how they tried to implement Rexar. Not that Rexar is bad, just he's not himself a tank. And I was thinking of a ranged character who does less damage but takes less damage the closer in proximity they are to their enemy. So they can do damage at range, but then when they close the distance, they stop doing as much damage, but take less damage. So they can end up being more tanky. And it seems like a very high skill cap character, which could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, because that could get really dangerous. Say you're going into against a 2-tank comp as that character, and their back line could just make your life a living hell.
Yeah. So it was just something to play with, something I was thinking about. But actually, the real thing I wanted to chat about and hear your opinions on or keep a conversation going about is I love this game a lot more now that I've watched a lot of your content, both solo Q&A and just Into the Nexus has informed my ability to play MOBAs, or specifically this MOBA, much more. And one of my frustrations is I've been solo queuing a lot lately, or duo queuing, and finding teammates that not only make bad decisions, but make bad decisions before anyone can react. So the 2 versus 5 fight that ends up in the other 3 of us running because we don't have 5 teammates, and then the 2 people who die complaining that we weren't there, but we were dead from the last 2v5 they initiated, and it just cycles. And wondering if there's any way to bolster, I don't know, to show prowess in a game and get everybody behind you, because I've been playing Assassins and trying to raise my MMR so I can get into a group of people who are going to be rotating and looking to grab camps at the right moments and team fighting and not just running in and dying.
Gotcha.
And getting over that.
I have visual evidence of what Chameleon's talking about here in the last week's replay episode with this salty Vala who continued to get herself killed over and over again. Oh my goodness, you poor man.
Yeah, well, actually, I had one a couple of nights ago where we were winning. I think we had 15 kills and they had 0. And off of a curse, we got we got both bosses right as the curse ended. Like we got one boss And then while they were dealing with that, we got our boss, and then we pushed with it all the way to core. And we stayed too long and died, but they hadn't gotten any of our towers down, any of our forts down. So we had plenty of time to respawn, but as we respawned, we charged in one by one. And I landed a perfect maw and got 3 or 4 of them in the maw so we could disengage. And instead of disengaging, they engaged. And we just kept dying. And in the 3 minutes that it took for them to push through Fort Keep, they then got core because the death timers were so high that they just rolled right through us, only getting 9 kills in the game, but all 9 kills were in the last 3 minutes of the game. And I was trying to tell people to retreat, and I was trying to say, look, wait until we're all 5, but everybody was just so desperate to stop them from attacking that we weren't patient enough to win.
Huh.
So
I guess my question is, how do you teach patience in a game where you only know somebody for 20 minutes?
Yeah,
well,
and you have to be that person the whole time. You can't suddenly become the leader of the team in the last 5 minutes because no one's going to listen to you.
I was about to say, well, Kyle, you deal with an incredibly impatient person on an almost daily basis. How do you do it?
Are you referring to yourself?
Yes, I am.
But you understand the core essence of why we do what we do. You have the knowledge base to execute these ideas. And maybe in execution, they end up going awry, but you understand why it failed despite getting grumpy about it or what have you. Because that's just an emotional response. The actual analytical part of your brain can still dissect what you have. You have sufficient knowledge to deduce what happened, whereas most people will say, there's nothing I could have done. I exploded. And it's like, well, you didn't explode. You got hit by Calamity, an Arcane Orb, and the magic missile all at the same time. That's why you exploded.
Right.
So you should have moved sideways.
Yes. Yeah. If you weren't standing where you were standing, or you weren't solo pushing a lane after, level 12, or anything like that. There's all these kind of things that you can look for. I mean, that comic that you showed me, Kyle, of the guy riding the bike, sticks the stick in his own spokes, and then just goes, "Where was my team?" Like, and yeah, to a certain point, it's hard too because you only know that person for that one game, probably, hopefully. So for all you know, most of the time, they do have a level head on their shoulders. And maybe that particular day, that particular moment that you came across them, they're on like a 3-game losing streak. They're just on full tilt, and they're lashing out at everyone but themselves.
Right. So for me, it's all about the positive reinforcement, not only because it feels good and it's good to be nice and whatnot, but it actually works. Like if Uther lands a clutch Divine Shield on me, and I say, "Sick shield, Uther," guess who's getting the next shield that comes up? Probably this guy. Because we're friends now. So from the second the map goes out, if you're riding to that Infernal Shrines and the healer's missing, wait for healer. It's the very first one. It's not a dire situation, but now you've started to establish yourself as a leader of this group who can be listened to rather than making that change in the late game when things are falling apart. And it is a very active thing to do, and it's exhausting. And you makes you just want to wish that there was some sort of learn tab at the top where we could universally share information with the entire player base.
Yeah. The other question I was going to ask you is, I've been trying to research MMR as much as possible because I care a lot about fairness in games. I've been playing role-playing games and computer games for, 25, 26, 27 years now. And I'm trying to figure out if there is ever a way to implement a way to give calculate better players and give them slightly better rewards for wins and slightly less punishments for loss. Now, I know it's different for each person based on their MMR and their victory, but so far as I can tell, it's only whether you win or lose, and then the average MMR of the other team that calculates your gain or loss. But would there be a way that we could minorly reward people for fewer deaths, or minorly reward people for topping siege damage, or something that, not a huge thing of more than 2 or 3 MMR points, but I'm really just trying to grind into a higher skill level, and I'm finding that the people I'm playing with don't want to play a team game. They want to play a solo MOBA or a, boom headshot game, and that's really frustrating.
Well, that's the big challenge, right?
And it's a challenge being faced by League of Legends and Dota to this day. Everyone wants some sort of individual reward or XP or points for what they did in the game, but I agree with Blizzard here. All I can think of is Zagara is losing real bad. She goes off and pushes a lane by herself or starts wailing on those useless sidewalls. in some cases to get her siege
Right,
damage up
right.
so she gets more personal points.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because what you're suggesting, making it incredibly small so you would deter that, it would be so small that it's really not worth your time, and it's not in the long run not going to help you really grind anything out.
It's true.
So yeah, that is the problem, and believe me, I am in the exact same boat as you are, because I frequently find myself in games where I feel like, oh my God, I have like the least amount of deaths, most damage done, and like I get into that situation where I'm like, there was nothing I could do. Like, I've done everything I can. What else can I do? Why am I losing as many points as the rest of these guys?
Right.
But that is the challenge with MOBAs in general. It comes with the territory, I think, sadly.
Although the
Someone's
thing
gotta
that I
find
saw as very interesting and very exciting was the concept of all these different custom games coming up with special rules where you can only go to this lane and do this one thing, and Chair League and all these other things that are cropping up around the community that I'm excited to play and can avoid the frustrations of Hero League for a day or two when those events are around and I can either participate or watch. So there are other ways of doing things until hopefully maybe they come up with more. A Learn tab would be great, or even a hybrid between Quick Match and Hero League where you can practice draft and practice all these other things but have a different, MMR that it doesn't affect your ranked and you're not in ranked play, but you're in a play that's supposed to be like ranked.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's a
love
tall
your
order.
content.
Yeah, man,
Gotta
keep on
go,
keeping
but
on.
I will see you guys in games, and I jumped a good 14 ranks a couple weeks ago because of all the information, and then I dropped 10 of those recently. So hey.
I'm right there with you, man. It's a tough battle.
Well, cool beans. Y'all have a great day, and again, thanks for all the content.
Thanks for calling
Absolutely,
in, man.
dude.
Alrighty, let's add Cheesy Bob, and then we'll see if we can't squeeze in a voicemail.
Sounds good.
Cheesy Bob's been calling the whole time, so I want to make sure we get him in.
Absolutely.
Welcome back, Cheesy Bob, who I just found out is not in college.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going well. How you doing,
Now,
man?
I never made that
Just a little
assumption.
sip from my nice mug here that I just got.
Ooh,
snap.
look at that sexy thing. That is now a collector's item. Those blue mugs, they do not make them anymore.
Yeah, I know. I got the last one.
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
it was it was kind of funny because the TAC mug that I ordered got I had to accept one with like a slight blemish on it because he was out of them and he's like I have one, but that's it.
Oh, you're the guy. He
Yeah.
texted me. He's like, "Oh, I just got an order, and I just found out my supplier ran out." And I'm really glad it was you, because I'm like, had I known it was Cheesy Bob, I'm like, "Oh man, Cheesy Bob will understand."
Oh yeah, no, and it's like I barely even notice it, and I'm just like, I just want the cool blue mug, and I'm like, ooh, and that since it's a collector's item, I'm like, ooh, yeah, it's like.
Yeah, now it's
This from the guy who bought a stim pack specifically so he could hit level 40 before the alpha ended, because I need that portrait.
Well, then yeah, you go to the target demo, I guess.
That's called strategy.
That is called strategy. Anyway,
I have two questions. The first one is kind of quick. It's just, how awesome are the balance updates?
oh, fan-freaking-tastic.
Mm-hmm.
Really happy that they're a thing.
I mean, I think it's really great that they're mostly just kind of tweaking numbers down a little bit. And I mean, so Li Ming has dropped a lot since the last balance update, but she's still above 50%, which is cool. Right? So she used to be like kind of way overpowered. They dropped her numbers a whole bunch, but like they didn't just take the banhammer to her, And I think maybe they overdid a little bit for Kel'Thas, but they say there's an rework coming soon. So, but I'm just really happy that like if there's a hero that's good, that's like overpowered, they're not just gonna like remove them from the game, because I feel that kind of happened with like Stitches, right? Like Stitches was really
Right.
really good, and then they basically kind of removed him with when they basically, I think it was mainly when they removed the stun from his slam, and granted that was like really really good, but it made him kind of useless.
Yeah, it's important to note
Yeah.
that the stun got removed during Nazebo's reign of madness, where Ravaging Spirit decimated every team on Earth, and he was the top pick assassin, quote unquote,
Right.
as a specialist. And so Stitches with the stun was getting rid of the Ravaging Spirit, and, well, they got rid of it, and Nazebo continued his reign of terror.
Yeah.
Right. So the other thing that I want to kind of talk more about is Overwatch and Overwatch heroes in Heroes of the Storm. And I think there's sort of two parts of that is what do you want? And then the other one is there's like some heroes in Overwatch that basically are already in HOTS, and how do you think they're going to do that?
I don't think we're going to get every hero, so I don't think it'll be an issue if there's crossover. Something like Roadhog, I don't think we're going to see unless we just get a Roadhog Stitches skin.
I think it'd be pretty cool to see like a legendary Stitches skin that's just Roadhog.
Right. Although at the same time, I'm not sure exactly how you represent his shotgun in it. I guess maybe he's just carrying around and beats people with it. I don't know. But
well, I mean, it's short range, right? So it could be like a short range shoot animation, but it's melee range.
Right, it's a slam, right? It just shoots bullets instead.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go.
Kind of fires him out.
Maybe the rest of the time the gun is on his back and he actually melees you with the hook. But when he slams, he shoots like bullets that has, I don't know. Yeah, there's a way you can make that work. And
it's not a 1-to-1, but Winston could have a decent Muradin skin.
Yeah. We could totally have a Widowmaker Nova skin.
Yep. And then what is it? Die, put him on Vala.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's an absolute holy shit. You're brilliant, Kyle.
That is exactly the same.
Yeah. Straith is Death Blossom. I don't know what you would do for Reign of Vengeance, but
you basically keep it the same, right? I mean, maybe change the color to be more red, but it works in the color scheme too of Reaper. And we already have, I mean, suitless Raynor and Raynor in a suit, and we're okay with that. It's not blowing our minds or ruining any games right now, so I think we can go pretty darn different.
Yeah, I think so too. But I mean, we know we're getting Tracer, but I could see Winston. I could see like dropping down. We have nothing to like drops down a shield really like he does, like an area shield like that. I'd love to see something like that blocks skill shots or something. Oh my man, what a great Li Ming counter that would be.
Yeah,
like you drop down a small area of effect shield that just absorbs magic missiles and arcane orb, and she has to cross into it to attack within it, or be outside of it to attack outside of it.
It's funny that we're getting Necromancer, who's going to come in really strong because of Thrall and all these sort of auto-attack heavy meta we have right now. And we don't have an anti-mage, but there's only 3 of them. And that's easy to forget. They can all be banned out in the game. Or there's just going to be one on each team, and it's not worth countering in the first place.
At the moment, most people aren't shaking in their boots at the sight of Kael'thas anymore. So,
no. Though Jaina's doing well right now.
Jaina is doing well. Very much on the rise. Li Ming actually, Li Ming actually falling down since the changes last week. Still doing very well, but did notice a decrease in her win rate overall.
Hello, Raynor.
Yeah.
I think the Overwatch hero I'd like to see the most actually is Zenyatta, because that is a kind of style of healing and support that doesn't exist in Heroes of the Storm yet. The like stick an orb on someone and then just let them go off and do their thing.
Oh, can you imagine giving sight of them the entire time?
Oh, if you had the negative orb, the orb of Discord
orb.
Oh
right, like God. I mean, I'm coming across all these friends that are really good at shooters and never really played too much MOBAs, and they're like, "Oh, MOBAs are so much work." I'm like, "No, this squat stuff is exhausting. Having to walk in a room and check that corner, like I just want to look at a mini map and say, nope, I'm good. Nope, keep walking forward, I'm good."
I think in the case of someone like Zenyatta, I'm not sure it could work 1-to-1 the same. I don't think you could have an ability like Orb of Discord that you place it on an enemy and it's on them until you place it on another enemy. I think it would have to be.
I think it would have to be a timed thing.
Right. It'd have to have a duration, something more akin to Hunter's Mark, which actually is kind of a hero's version of Orb of Discord if you think about it, because it marks them for damage increase.
What is the damage increase on Orb of Discord? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, I do not.
No.
Okay, because maybe it could be like a longer duration, but less
damage increase.
Amount.
Yeah. It would be cool if it was a significant duration, so that if you kept sight on them, that'd be kind of interesting.
But the thing I was thinking of is that each support currently has like a different method of healing.
Yeah.
Right, and the Orb of Harmony to heal one hero, and you don't have to be near them to get that heal, is I think something that doesn't exist yet, which is sort of interesting, because like, if you think about it, there's no hero that heals in exactly the same way as another hero, and I don't know that there are that many more sort of healing things they could do that wouldn't essentially be a copy of someone else at this point.
Right, we get into that weird situation where all the abilities are just flip-flopped other abilities, like Muradin, or Malfurion casts his heal, which heals for an amount and then heals over time. But this one does a heal over time first and then heals for a big amount afterwards. And you're like, oh, nice job, creativity there.
I hope we never see that. That heal sounds terrible, by the way.
What if it healed a lot?
Then it'd be good. But exactly, like it's a spot, but the hook isn't a hook, you see, because it pushes them. I mean, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing, but we're kind of scraping the barrel here. I mean, Zenyatta, is it really that different from Tranquility to pass into the Iris? I don't know. In my experience in Overwatch, it just makes everyone invincible in an area.
Yeah, which then you get into like sanctification territory.
Right, well, I think like heroic abilities being similar to others isn't the end of the world, because I think, you know, there are ones that have kind of similarities to other stuff. Kind of like, I kind of think that
well, Tranquility and Cups, like,
right,
it's not exactly the same, but it's
I'm also thinking like Butcher's Lamb to the Slaughter and like Leoric's Entomb and Jaina's Ring of Frost are all kind of similar, because they lock someone in place, they help isolate someone, but they don't prevent them from attacking you back.
Right.
Sure, the best application, I think, of this is Muradin's trait and Morales' trait. They're both the same thing, but work very differently, and Morales can't heal herself, so she needs that trait. And that makes that interesting on her while still being effective on Muradin. And there's no crossover, even though they're the exact same ability.
Yeah. No, I think those are all good points. That's interesting. I'm curious to see which ones we see and which ones we won't. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Roadhog, we don't see Widowmaker. But hopefully we'll see some skins down the road.
Yeah, I was thinking another one I was wondering about is if Lucio made sense, because like he's kind of similar to Brightwing, but the idea of the movement speed increase is an interesting kind of quirk.
That's a good point.
But since everyone like mounts, I don't know if it necessarily makes sense, because like usually if you're in a fight, you just want to be healing. But maybe like as like a good like disengage thing, maybe, I don't know. But then again, like Brightwing also has the
Pixie Dust
powder
Pixie
thing,
Dust,
so.
which grants movement speed increase to a single target. Yeah, it'd be interesting. It's something you have to sit around and have a meeting about, which I'm sure is what they do over at Team One. You know,
right.
What are we working on? What do we think of? What do we need coming down the line? And they have said in the past too, I think, that they've come up with kits and then found a hero that goes with it. So it doesn't.
Another couple.
It seems like it doesn't always start with the hero and then a kit is made. It can go in the opposite direction. Right.
Another couple that I think would be interesting are Genji and Symmetra. So I think that Symmetra with the teleporter is a really interesting idea, because that's a unique thing that doesn't exist yet in the game.
Nidus, but for a single.
Well, but for
person.
your team though, right?
Right. Would you take Nidus if your entire team could use it? Probably.
Yeah, I would.
Probably. Yeah. But then, of course, everyone just sits here going, well, why is Nidus even still in the game, for the love of God? Because no one takes it. And if you brought in something like that, it's like, well, Symmetra's teleport is just objectively better than Zagara's Nidus. Although, I'm assuming the teleporter would be A to B, not A to B, C, or D.
Actually, I'm wondering if it actually would be as good as it is in Overwatch, because in Overwatch you have like a 6-second respawn. So it really kind of keeps the whole team where the teleporter is. But in Heroes, like if you're kind of like mid to late game, you have like a 40-second death. It doesn't really help to have a teleporter.
It would definitely become very bad if you're on the back foot. If you're already pushed back into your base, no one's going to give a crap about your teleporter. And that does tend to happen in Overwatch as well. At least in the case of Overwatch, you can still put it out somewhere like at an ambush location. So instead of everyone filing out their front door, they're coming out of some side building and getting the jump on the people pushing the payload. Yeah, it's strange. Not everything works one-to-one. Like you need to craft it for heroes.
And it'll be interesting to see like what Tracer does, because rewinding yourself for health is definitely kind of an ulti sort of thing. But at the same time, Greymane flows freely between his avatar form, which we thought would all be his ultimate.
Yeah.
I think Tracer. I think the rewind for health is pretty heroic, because like in Overwatch, like I said, like the cost of death isn't so high, but the ability to basically be a sliver of hit points to full is like really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really interested to see how Tracer works.
Yeah, what does dashing look like? Are we blinking 3 times, or are we actually moving forward based on the direction of the character? Or like something like Diva would be
Seems to
really
me like
cool.
Yeah,
Drops a bomb,
and
and then we have
me
to.
that it would be kind of a charged blink, but yeah.
Well, and like die. Like when Vala strafes, you don't run to break sight with her. You just try to run out of range. But how interesting would that be if we had, get out of Diva's bomb sight and hide in a corner, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain maps though with such massively wide open spaces.
Right. Yeah, you wouldn't want to pick Diva on Battlefield of Eternity because there's a rock everywhere to hide behind.
Exactly. So there's again, we get into this situation where it's really bad in some places and way too good in others. But yeah.
But then maybe you pick the other ultimate, which is
who knows? Because all these heroes only hit one. Yeah,
right.
That's the other issue with Heroes of the Storm versus Overwatch, which I'm really just interested to see Tracer at this point, having played so much of her now in the beta and seeing how that's going to translate over. Like you were saying, Kyle, just how exactly does her kit work? Because we know she's going to have Blink, but exactly how does Blink work? Are we, it's just the direction we're currently heading? Are we selecting exactly where we're blinking? Do we have 3 charges of it?
Right, and in a MOBA, I almost say that her auto attack works like a Tychus overkill, where we kind of lock onto them and move sideways.
Yeah.
So that we actually do the annoying thing that we all hate.
But Cheesy Bob, thanks for calling in, man. We have to take a voicemail before we go because we promised we would, and we got to get Kyle running because he's got a coaching lesson, I believe. So
that's true.
Anyways, thanks as
Thank
always.
You. See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, see you then.
Bye.
See you.
See you this afternoon.
Cool. So we did set up a voicemail for instances not like today when we didn't have enough callers, or but also for you patrons who can't make the live show. The phone number for that can be found over on the Patreon website, so check out patreon.com/ITN for more information on how to call in and send in a voicemail. Let's listen to our first one ever, Kyle.
Hello, it's the Nexus. It's your friendly neighborhood Badger Lord here. I have a question for you. When do you think it's a good time to start bringing a hero in that you've been practicing with into Hero League? Normally I play tank characters like Chen or Johanna, so I feel comfortable with them, and when a new tank comes out, I feel comfortable switching to that, as I basically know what I have to do. But lately I've been practicing a fair bit as Greymane. I played a good 50 games of Quick Match since he was released, and I've definitely got a feel for how he plays, but the quality of Quick Match is always questionable at best. So what do you guys think is really the switchover point where one can just say, all right, time to bring this into Hero League. Keep up the great work. Bye.
That is a good question, and I don't have a good answer.
Yeah,
I think it's a
do
deeply personal decision to make.
Right. So let's say I want to take Abathur into Hero League. Cool. You do it. Did my play change much? Not really.
Yeah.
But Greymane, that's something you got to rely on your healers and having a nice tank. And there are learning situations you will never gain outside of 1 or 2 magical quick matches where you have support and tank. And actual like tank, not like Artanis.
Yeah. Yeah, it really depends. I mean, I think of anyone here, you're probably the most you're the most terrified, or should be, I think, Kyle, since you're always worried about dropping out of rank 1. So at what point do you make that mental switch?
For me, it's when taking something more meta would be a danger to me because I've actually been practicing this one thing. Because honestly, I mean, yeah, I could pick Thrall every day. But I don't own Thrall right now. I could go purchase him right now. I have the gold for it, but that's not going to be good for my Heroes League experience. So I'd say you're ready to go right now with Greymane, because if you play 50 games of Quick Match, how many games of those other heroes did you really play? And if you're going to bring, let's say, Vala in there as sort of your old staple, she's not practiced up. She's not accustomed to dealing with Li Ming, where you actually are on Greymane.
That's a good point.
So it's time. And we just got through the long Christmas meta, which was really, really dull. And so everyone's a little more open right now to things being changed up, particularly with these Wednesday updates we've been getting. So now is the time to get fresh faces into Heroes League. And Greymane is well accepted at the moment.
Well said, Kyle.
You're not saying, I've been practicing Tyrael, and I'd like to bring him in every game. And well,
have you checked the stats for Masters League on Hanslogs for the last 7 days?
What's up out there?
Just that, yes, while Gazlo has a pretty fantastic win rate over all leagues, he's last place in Masters League. Are you literally checking it right now?
No, sorry. That was. I am digging, and I've got a little sidetrack because I was looking at Greymane there.
No, Greyman's doing fine. Greyman's in a pretty good place right now.
And Illidan, honestly, it was just shocked that Illidan is doing so well up top.
Illidan is doing fantastic in Master League.
Right after our episode where we kind of are like, well, Illidan could use a little love. Yeah, Gazlo is on the bomb. But what? I mean, 110 games played?
I typically don't look at the Master League stats because for the purposes of Into the Nexus, we're talking about the general populace. So I'd like to look at the overall statistics. But I was interested because after we mentioned that, many people did come over like, hey, Illidan's doing fantastic in Master League. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So, which then while I was looking, I'm like, oh, damn, look at Gazlo down there at 33.6% win rate in Master Leagues. He also has barely 100 games logged. So
Right. And he can't really create a zone. He's easy to dive. It makes sense that Master League players would not have a problem against him. And same can go for Rexar in that case. You know, the bear is scary to anyone below, but Masters Leaguers, they won't care.
yeah, they know what to deal with. So that's going to do it for this call-in episode. Thank you to all of our patrons who called in and everyone else who is supporting us over at patreon.com/ITN. It's because of you that we're doing these extra episodes every month. So big fat thanks to you. Find Kyle Ferguson on Twitter at Kyle Ferguson and at File Ferguson or KyleFerguson.com. Find me at Garrett Art on Twitter and amove.tv. That will do it. We'll see you tomorrow for Into the Nexus Prime. Good luck and have fun, everyone.
Take care.